She said it with no hesitation. "I'm the one teams are scouting for." Angel Reese isn't just confident. She's convinced that WNBA coaches across the league are spending their nights drawing up defensive schemes just to stop her. But the only thing more shocking than that claim is how many people actually believed it, even for a second. Because while Angel is giving speeches about being the league's biggest nightmare, the numbers and the reality on the court tell a completely different story. Let's start with the basics. Angel's shooting percentage this season from inside 5 feet? Just over 43%. That's not elite. That's not even efficient. That's a struggle. And yet, she's walking into interviews like she's an MVP candidate with teams triple-teaming her off every rebound. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark, the player Angel is constantly compared to whether she wants to be or not, is out here doing things the league has never seen. Logo threes, no-look assists, sellouts in cities that haven't cared about women's basketball in years. She doesn't say much. She doesn't need to, because the box score, the broadcast schedule, the headlines, they all say it for her. Now here's where it gets wild. Angel Reese isn't just talking, she's everywhere. From ESPN soundbites to viral Twitter clips to post-game one-liners that keep TikTok buzzing for days. She's mastered something few athletes ever figure out: staying relevant even when the game isn't going your way. That's not an accident. That's strategy. Every little moment, from an on-court scuffle to a petty stare down, becomes a story. Every time she opens her mouth, a headline gets written. And like clockwork, fans flood the comments. Some love her, some can't stand her, but they're all watching. And that's the part that makes Angel Reese such a fascinating figure. She might not be dominating the league statistically, but she's dominating the narrative. Coaches aren't game planning around her like she's prime Candace Parker. They're probably just hoping she doesn't rack up another technical. Her impact on the court is inconsistent. Flashes of brilliance buried under missed layups and padded rebounds. Yet off the court, she's a walking headline generator. Let's be real. No one is staying up late at night trying to figure out how to stop Angel Reese from dropping 40. Most of the time, defenses let her shoot, because chances are she's not hitting those shots. But ask her, and she'll say otherwise. And that gap between what she believes and what the league sees is where the drama lives. And it's golden, because while Angel is out here running her own PR campaign, Caitlin Clark is doing the opposite. She's silent, focused, deadly. Every time she steps on the court, she turns it into a highlight reel. Every time she touches the ball, it feels like history is being rewritten. And yet, Caitlin doesn't talk about it. She doesn't need to. The media follows her. The fans follow her. The numbers speak volumes. And in that silence is power. Here's where the contrast gets even sharper. Caitlin Clark leads the WNBA in jersey sales. She's the face of national broadcasts. Her highlights lead the top 10 lists. Sponsors line up around the block. She doesn't have to demand attention. She earns it every single game. Angel? She's chasing that spotlight. She wants equal billing, equal hype, equal credit. And she's not subtle about it. She reminds the world again and again that women's basketball isn't just about one player. She insists that she, too, deserves recognition. But here's the thing. Real greatness doesn't beg to be noticed. It just is. And that's what burns. Because Caitlin's not just better right now. She's easier to root for. She keeps her head down. She doesn't start feuds. She just plays. She lets the basketball do the talking. Angel, on the other hand, is playing a totally different game. One that's less about winning and more about staying loud. Now that doesn't mean she's useless. Far from it. Angel Reese brings something real to the WNBA: tension, energy, heat. She's the spark that keeps the pot boiling. And in a league still fighting for mainstream attention, that chaos, it's valuable. She's the one who gives the fans something to argue about. The one who drops quotes that go viral before her highlights do. She's not the league's best player, but she might be its most watchable train wreck. And whether you love her or hate her, you're still watching. And let's not pretend the league doesn't know what they're doing. Caitlin gets the primetime slots, the magazine covers, the Nike campaign. Angel? She gets the drama segments, the mic-in-your-face questions, the clickbait headlines. And she leans into all of it. Because that's the game she's playing, not basketball, but buzz. It's almost like watching two completely different athletes. One's building a legacy, the other's building a media empire. And both are succeeding in completely different ways. But let's talk about the scoreboard again, because that matters. Caitlin Clark is putting up numbers we haven't seen before. She's dropping 25-point triple-doubles like it's a Tuesday. Angel? Most nights, she's lucky to hit double digits. Her team's record isn't great. Her shooting numbers are even worse. And her coach? He's out here defending her like a publicist, not a play caller. That's not growth. That's spin. At some point, the stats have to match the swagger. And right now, they don't. You can't strut into post-game interviews with 4 points and a dozen rebounds and act like you dominated. That's not being misunderstood. That's being delusional. But you know what? Maybe that's her real genius. Maybe Angel Reese is smarter than we give her credit for. Maybe she knows she's not going to outplay Caitlin. So instead, she'll out-talk her, out-tweet her, out-entertain her. Because in the age of social media, that works. If you can't be the best, be the loudest. And Angel? She's both ear-splitting and unforgettable. Still, it's worth asking. Is all this flash going to help her career long-term? Or will it eventually backfire? Because there's a difference between being the league's most talked-about player and being the league's most respected. One gets you clicks. The other gets you championships. One fills up your mentions. The other fills up the rafters. And right now, Angel's filling the wrong column. She's not challenging for MVP. She's not even in the top 5 rookies this season. But she talks like she runs the league. That mismatch between performance and persona is starting to show. Fans are catching on. Critics are growing louder. And even teammates are probably wondering, is all this noise helping or hurting? Because there's nothing wrong with confidence. But confidence without consistency, that's just noise. Now contrast that with Caitlin Clark again. No drama, no distractions, just results. And that's why she's already being penciled in as Rookie of the Year. That's why she's selling out arenas in cities she's never even played in before. That's why the league is betting its future on her, not Angel. And yet, somehow, they're both essential. Caitlin is the golden goose. Angel is the firecracker. One builds the brand. The other fuels the flames. And if the WNBA plays it right, it can have both, the dominance and the drama. Because Angel Reese may not be the best player in the league, but she might be the most important character in the story. She gives the fans something to love, something to hate, something to debate. And in today's game, that's worth its weight in gold. So say what you want about her game. Laugh at the missed layups. Shake your head at the wild quotes. But never forget, Angel Reese is doing exactly what she set out to do. She's being seen, being heard, being talked about. And if that's her real goal, mission accomplished. Because whether you think she's the next big thing or just the loudest one in the room, she's winning at one thing for sure, keeping the whole world watching.